This is yoga directed towards anyone who's living here in Sri Lanka, national, resident, etc. And the idea is to make yoga a little bit more accessible to everybody. Joining me today, Anushka, and I'll be over at the mat. We'll start with a very gentle sequence, practice similar, sort of derived from Hatha, called Palamuktasana, anti-aging, anti-rheumatism, just to keep the body active and really synchronizing all the movements with the breath. And it's a nice practice to have early in the morning or even after travel. So please join. I'll be going over to the mat and we'll begin. So the first thing we'll do is we have the mats sideways for seating position, which is a big focus. We want to come down on the mat. We have a brick there. Grab a brick. And there's two favorite positions I have. The first one, you'll see I'm here in Thunderbolt, which is knees together and tops of the feet. There you go. And you just want to separate the knees for gracious pose. Slide the block back like a bicycle seat. You've got a nice, steady, vertical posture here, good for the breath in the alignment. If you're not able to sit on one brick, you can always stack the bricks and put a second one, just in case. Sometimes people find it difficulty, especially in the mornings, the flexibility here in the quads, whatever, or the tops of the ankles, by putting a second brick, another option. Then the other go-to position that I like, this is probably a favorite one for a lot of people who are beginning, is taking the block, putting it at the edge of the mat, and with two cushions, using these for support underneath the knees. So you have contact, but you're not placing any pressure on the knees or tops of the ankles. So this is a nice one. The hips are a little bit tight, you have support, and again, a very good seated position, getting a vertical spine, and ready to enjoy the practice. So I'll go back to the first one for myself. It's my favorite, the gracious pose. I guess you'll stay there too. Okay. And so now we'll begin. Raise our arms up to the sky. Deep inhale breath. Remember all the breathing today through the nose. Deep inhale and exhale. Looking up at the sky, casting the gaze upwards. Moving the fingers, tickling the clouds here, activating the articulations. And exhale, release. Arms to the side. And again, like you're on a piano, strumming the keys, one direction. And with yoga, always one direction and the other, about equal parts. Now the other way. And now again, with the palms facing up, same thing. Piano player, moving the fingers there. And then the other way. Now raising your arms up to the sky, deep inhale breath. And moving the fingers, casting gaze upwards. Now lacing the fingers together. And on your next inhale, pushing the palms upwards to the sky. Opening the forearms, the wrists, really extending the shoulders and the back. Big, deep belly breath here. Notice I'm closing my eyes. The idea with this practice is if you can close your eyes, it's preferable. Then that way you can direct and send the air, the oxygen, to the area of the body that's being activated or receiving the benefit of each practice. Now, with the next exhale breath, we'll sway off to one side, opening the torso, keeping the arms as straight as possible, looking forward with our gaze. Don't rest the head on the arms and shoulders. The activation, or the idea here, is just the side of that torso, receiving the gravity, helping it get more supple. And as we take another breath here, and now inhale, coming back up to center. Again, pushing the palms up to the sky again, getting a little bit more verticality here before going to the other side. And now exhale breath, off to the other side, opening the torso. Again, a calm breath. Sending that air, that oxygen to the torso. And now coming back to center. Inhale. Exhale, release. Hands in our palms. We'll just do a nice little breathing practice here in between movements. So abdominal breathing practice. Take your right hand, just place it on your abdomen. Keep your shoulders black, chin level to the floor, eyes are closed. Just feel the expansion and contraction with each inhale and exhale. Open our eyes, raise our arms up to the sky again. Deep inhale breath. This time, capturing our elbows in our hands, and we'll get prepared for some forward fold circles. So with the breath, matching the movement with the breath, off to one side, exhale. Let yourself forward, stay seated on your brick, all the way to the center. Extend to exhale as you're coming up and around. Inhale, go nice and slow. Again, matching the movement with the breath here. Just letting gravity slowly take you forward. As you're making space in that forward bend in the exhale and coming up with the inhale on the upswing here. And one more time around. Just nice and slow with the breath. No rush, no hurry. This practice is really about just taking care of yourself, giving yourself a moment. Now, pause at the top. And when you're ready, next exhale breath, just sway over to the other side, making the circle the opposite direction. And coming back up and around with the inhale breath. And top of the next inhale. Top of the next circle, pause. Stay there for a moment. Exhale, release. And now it's another little intermission or pause between the movements. We do one of my favorite pranayamas. It's the prana mudra. It's really, really very beneficial for moving the energy from the base of the root to the crown chakra, just with a simple breath of inhale and exhale and synchronizing it with the hands. So we'll start together. Hands here at the abdomen. Eyes are closed. If you want to keep them open for a moment watching, that's okay, but the eyes will be closed. As you're raising your hands up from the base of the root to the heart, to the throat, all the way up to the crown. This is one long inhale breath. Your hands come up, palms facing upwards, elbows to the ground. And try to keep a retention of breath here, counting for 5 ohm. 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 4 ohm, 5 ohm. And then just retracing your steps with a nice long exhale. Again, focusing on the throat, passing over the heart, base or root. And once you're at the bottom, completely expelling all of the air out of the lungs, squeezing the abdomen there. And then when you're ready, inhale, coming back up again. Do this 5 times. Just go at your own pace. If you finished before, place your hands in mudra of your choice on your knees, and we'll continue from there. And now maintain the eyes closed, shoulders are back. Just enjoying the moment, the present, noting the sensation, feelings after doing the prana mudra. And now we'll begin again with some motion. So opening our eyes, raising the arms up to the sky again with deep inhale breath. Stay here for breath. We're going to lengthen out as much as possible the spine, looking upwards with all the strength we have before going into a twist. And now with the exhale breath, dropping your right hand over your left leg and your opposite hand, fingertips just on the floor behind you, keeping the shoulders squared, chin raised. And then with your next exhale breath, turning back, perhaps casting your gaze a little bit further back, using what I call gentle insistence. So find that comfortable spot. You feel some activation there in the lower back and the shoulders, and you can still keep a yoga smile. You want to go a bit deeper, the arm that's behind you, just take that top of the hand, wrap it around the waist for second point of contact. And then again with the exhale breath, let yourself go back, perhaps a little bit further now, 2 points of contact for some gentle insistence. And now coming back to center, inhale breath. Raise the arms up to the sky, activating the fingers again. Lengthening the spine as much as we can before going to the other side. And now, exhale breath. Leg, fingertips just behind, shoulders raised, vertical spine. Turn your head, casting your gaze back with exhale breath. And now again, if you're feeling supple, you want to go a little further, take the hand that's on the floor, fingertips, place the back of the hand against the waist, and then just with a second point of contact and an exhale breath, casting your gaze back a bit further. Inhale, coming back to center, raise the arms up to the sky, lengthening the spine, getting all that verticality you can. And now, taking your fingertips, just drop them on top of your shoulders. We'll do some nice rotations here, making giant circles with the elbows, bringing the elbows all the way up, almost touching the nose. So inhale breath, bring it up and forward, back and down, exhale. Again, close the eyes, send the breath to the shoulder area. Just nice, gentle movement. And when you're at the top, just pause. And now we'll go back the opposite way. So bring that circle the opposite direction, going back. Exhale breath. Coming up and around, sweeping up like an uppercut here for inhale. And just keep going at your own pace. And now exhale, release. Their knees. And we'll do one more thing here for the shoulders before changing and moving on to some sun salutations. So raise your right arm out in front of you. Bring it inwards. And capture the elbow there with a crease between the forearm and the bicep. Bringing that hand towards the forehead. And with an exhale breath, bring it a little bit closer. Doing a thread the needle, seated position here. And just bring that in towards you. Exhale, release. Hands to the knees. Raise you up to the sky one more time. Deep inhale breath. And now exhale. Right hand on top of the knee. Left hand out in front. And just bring it across inside. Capture that elbow. Bring the hand to the forehead. And with the exhale breath, bring it closer, opening that shoulder area. Exhale, release. We'll do one more thing for the wrists and the hands, because you can't miss out on. It's quite nice. So just bring your hands out in front of you, clench it gently like a thumb, coming inwards. This is your inhale breath, fists facing each other, and then exhale, opening the hand, the palm, really pushing the fingers back. It's a subtle movement. It's a great way to work, help the wrists, the articulations, the fingers. Bring it in, inhale. Then what I like to do is really recommend on the exhale, hold it there for a moment. Pause, really get the activation in the fingers, the palm, and just keep going at your own pace. Exhale, release. Hands on the mat. Close your eyes for just a moment. Shoulders back. Deep belly breath here. And now we'll prepare ourselves to go through some more standing positions. So removing the blocks or cushions if you have them. You sit, and I'm going to just move the camera a little bit. Asanas can be a little bit more focused. Close up. Place the camera over here. That's a good spot. Okay, so we'll start off here just in tabletop position, getting ourselves ready. And the first thing we like to do is a really nice technique, the tiger pose, particularly for waking up in the morning. It tones the abdomen, thigh area, legs. So tucking the chin down, raising the knee, inhale breath, and then exhale, lift the head up as high as you can, placing some force there, some energy on the palms of the hands, toes are pointed, extending all the way back. Hold the breath for a moment there at the top, and then just come back again with your inhale. Bring the chin in and the knee up. Then when you're ready, exhale. And just matching again the movement with the breath, nice and slow. Really feel the activation there in the core, the extension of the leg. And now, next movement, bring that knee back to center. Good time to mention, perhaps, as we're going for the second round, if you need a little extra cushion for your knees, you can just double over the yoga mat like this, and you create essentially 3 levels of yoga mat. Nice little trick, very useful for sensitive knees or hard floors, however you want to look at it. So raising your knee up, inhale breath, tucking the chin in, and tiger pose again. Stretching that leg all the way back out, lifting the head high, opening the heart. Bring the shoulder blades together a little bit there even. Pause a moment and coming back. Inhale. And just continue with the movement. The inhale and the exhale. And one more time. Get that extension. Point those toes. Hold the last one just a little bit longer. Go big challenge to yourself. And now exhale, release. Bring the knees together. Straighten out the mat again if you're at it folded. And now we'll go for down dog. So I like to separate the feet a little bit. Get curled on the toes, ready for position. Make sure your palms are completely flat on the mat. And then just straightening your legs. Pushing from the force of the palms. Guiding those heels back towards the mat. Let the head drop between the arms and the shoulders. Lifting the hips. And now once you're there, just gently lifting one heel at a time. Walking the dog. Opening the calves here. This is a nice counter pose or counter technique to the mountains and hillsides here. Just walking the dog a few more times. And now press both heels back all the way. Let the head drop a bit further, perhaps. Make sure there's no tension there. And lifting the hips. The arms are completely extended. And a calm breath. And now looking forward. Bending the knees. Just stepping between the hands here. Coming up. Deep inhale breath. Challenge yourself a little bit if you like. Lift the heels, go on the toes. Stay there for a moment. And then when you're ready, drop the heels. Capture the elbows and the hands again like before when we were seated. And exhale breath, making room in the belly. Let yourself just gently go forward, keeping the legs locked, feet together. Doesn't matter how far you go. You want to get that activation on the backs of the legs here. Just exhale breath, gently letting yourself go forward. I'll work through this a little bit more. An Ashtanga variation here. So drop your fingers to the mat or your hands or to your feet or your shins, wherever you can reach and have contact. And then straighten the arms, lift the head. Inhale breath, looking forward. Fill the belly, and then exhale. Bending the elbows, letting your head drop. Coming in perhaps a little bit closer to the ground, the crown of the head. Stay there for a moment. And then again, the other variation is on the floor. Fingertips. Just raising up. Inhale breath. Keep the legs locked the whole time. And exhale. Bending the elbows. Just letting yourself fold forward. You might want to visualize even the torso coming to the tops of the quads there. Never putting any tension in the neck or the back, trying to touch the knees. Just staying here relaxed, letting gravity have a nice effect. Now when you're ready, looking forward, bend the knees a little bit. Drop your hands completely flat to the mat. Get prepared for plank. Protect your wrists, so keep bending your knees until they're completely flat. Your hands there, and stepping back into plank. And we'll go for 8-limb chaturanga style. So just dropping the knees, chest, chin. Slide your fingers out. Keep the elbows in. You want to be on the tops of your feet. And we're here for Sphinx. So lifting up as high as you can. Focus on the breath, the abdomen there, pressing against the floor with each inhale and exhale. Keeping the shoulder blades activated, closing in towards each other, opening the chest. Then we'll go for a twist. So exhale breath, keeping everything raised and just looking back behind you. Try to capture the view of your opposite heel. Activating there the lower back, lumbar area. Stay here for a couple breaths. Notice the sensations. When you're ready, inhale, come back to center. Take a long breath here. And with your next exhale, turn your head, looking the opposite direction. Capturing the view of your feet, your heel, or as far back as you can gaze. Keep in one steady, sustainable spot. Inhale, coming back to center. Lowering down just a little bit. I'll go here. Once we're back to center, lower ourselves down a little bit, but keep the head and the shoulders raised. We'll go for snake. So this is a fun one. The specialty of the jungle shallot, keep away the monkeys. So pull your shoulder blades together, lift your hands off of your back, raise up a little bit higher. Then, just like a snake, you want to have all your weight on your abdomen. So lift your feet, your knees off the floor, and from here on the next exhale, make a hiss. It's keeping the monkeys away. And one more time. And exhale, release. Bring our hands back here underneath the chest. Elbows are in. And pushing back up to tabletop. We'll sit back all the way on our heels now. Child's pose. Raise the arms up to the sky. We'll counter the back bend there. And this time we'll capture the hand behind our back. Capture the wrist. Keep the weight there on the lower back. This is a nice release for any tension in the back. As you're going forward, let your head just gently drop to the mat. If you don't reach the mat, you have a yoga brick or cushion, make sure you have contact with your head. You don't want to be with the forehead in the air. It's much more comfortable, the alignment, with full contact with the mat. And then perhaps after being here for some breaths, you want to remove the brick. That's fine too. And now inhale coming up. And we'll do the other side, keeping all sides equal. So now go for the opposite wrist. So raise the arms up to the sky. Inhale breath. And then capturing the opposite wrist there. Exhale breath. Just gently letting yourself go forward. Remember, staying seated on the heels here. head to the mat. And inhale, coming back up. Release the hand to the wrist. Place yourself back in tabletop. Getting prepared here for another sun salutation. So curling the toes and pushing back on those heels again for down dog. Driving back. And we'll go one more time for walking the dog. So really getting the opening here. The calves, pushing, lifting the heels one at a time. And then pushing both heels back all the way and dropping the head there between the arms and shoulders. And then when you're ready, bending the knees, stepping between the hands, coming back up, deep inhale breath. Lifting the heels, go over a little bit more extension, onto the toes. Going back down, capturing the elbows in the hands. Exhale breath, forward fold. Keep the legs locked, feet together. Just letting yourself forward as far as you can. Just letting gravity take you. No force or strain. Exhale, release. Dropping the hands to the mat, bending the knees, stepping back, one foot at a time. Stay here in plank. We'll do a little yoga conditioning, I call it. So keep the hips level. Hips are level. There you go. And lift the left foot just a little off the floor. Push that right heel back. Everything's leveled. You're just working a bit of core here. Additional opening for the calf. Knees, other side. Again, just lifting the foot a little bit, a few centimeters, a few inches off the floor. Pushing back the opposite foot on the heel there. Maintaining the core strong, hips in line with the head, and shoulders and heels. And exhale, release. Now from here, we'll go for 8-limb chaturanga again. So just dropping onto our knees, chest, chin, sliding ourselves back up to Sphinx. Elbows are in at the side of the chest. Lifting up as high as you can. Chin in there. Shoulder blades coming back. And now from here, we'll go for bow. So dropping down a little bit, bringing each foot towards you. Capture the top of your foot with your hands. We're going to make ourselves like a yogic rocking chair, literally moving with the breath. So you're pushing your hands in, pushing your tops of your feet into your hands, raising up, lifting the quads off the floor, lifting the chest up in the air, chin up in the air. Once you're here, focus on the breath with the abdomen, with the breathing. You can rock back and forth. So just very gently, inhale, coming up, exhale, going forward. Deep belly breath, nice and slow. No fast rocking chairs. This is very good for the abdomen and for the back, obviously. time. And exhale, release. Push back. Get our hands just underneath us. Push back one more time for child's pose. Quick reset here. Knees together. Just hands out in front. Landing the forehead to the floor. Heels sat on the heels. And now lifting back up. And we're here in tabletop. Just let ourselves down gently. Bring the hands down in front of us here. To puppy pose. So extending the arms, keeping the hips raised. This time you're off the heels. And then letting your arms out as far as possible, keeping them straight there. And you're on your forehead. And then the additional extension of this is going down a little bit lower. Trying to get your forehead and your chest on the floor. Your chin and chest on the floor. Elbows are to the side. Fingers and elbows, the tips of the arms. Now we'll lower ourselves down completely onto the hip, abdomen, tops of the feet. From here, take our arms for crocodile pose. One of my favorites. This is like watching television as a kid. You just simply placing your hands out there, elbows out in front, dropping the chin into the palms of the hands, release, the exhale breath. Very, very important. This is a great reset for the neck if you ever wake up with a neck sore from travel. Important thing is to really release with the exhale breath, let the weight of the head, everything fall in, no resistance. You get the maximum benefit here. So we'll stay here for a minute. Just enjoy. And next, inhale, lift your heads gently out of the palms of our hands. Getting our hands underneath for support. Push your back ourselves back up. And getting ready for another sun salutation. Separating the legs a little bit, curling the toes, pushing back all the way. Again, dropping the forehead to the mat if possible. Lifting the hips and getting the heels down as far as possible. Just basically enjoying the pose, going to whatever level or location is comfortable for you. And now, bend in the knees, looking forward. Left hand just going, left foot just between the hands. Back foot is on the knee and the top of the foot there. If you need a little bit more balance, separate, make some distance here. And we're going to go up here for lizard. So first extending up all the way up the sky. Deep inhale breath. And then exhale. Let the hands just drop here on the inside of the foot. They're completely flat. And the progression on this is to bend the elbows, keeping your gaze forward for the breath. And you'll feel the opening here on the back of the leg and the psoas. Exhale breath. Letting yourself down. Once you're in a comfortable spot here, if you find that there's some space there and you can find that shoulder underneath the knee, moving sideways a little bit, go for it. Get it on top. Then you can extend your arms, become a flying lizard. I like the name. Airplane sounds are optional. And from here, if you really want to go for it, you can also curl those back toes. Just lift up. When you're ready, just bring the hands back in, knee back to the floor if you raised it, and then coming over around. Bring the knees together, sit back on the heels, child's pose before going to the other side. Raise the hands up. This time, hands behind you, open the shoulders a little bit. Exhale breath, letting the forehead to the floor. Putting the arms. Looking forward.